I'm Justin Meldal-Johnsen. I'm here at the Pensado Awards on the Sony lot for Music Connection. Bruce Swedien and his award, and Quincy and him speaking together. I don't know. I mean, you know, it makes you feel like you're witnessing the pinnacle of music recording, all encapsulated in a small moment, you know. And I never thought I would even meet those people, much less see them speak in such a candid way about their career and their legacy and stuff. So, you know, it's huge. I mean, these are the people I could only aspire to be in the same orbit in, and I'm not in their orbit. They're the true geniuses of real music making. And so, you know, I'm not just saying this to sound like falsely modest or whatever. Like, I'm serious. Those are the real motherfuckers, you know. And for people like me to be in their presence is crazy. Egalitarian aspect of it, the unified level playing field aspect of it, it's huge. Yeah. That's the thing that I was trying to speak on tonight. I may not have done it very eloquently, but for me, Pensado's place is the great leveler, and it's also bringing to light the familial, cordial, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the thing in the music business that is not quite as present in other arts, which is the let's look after each other, brother. It's, you know, we're all kind of in the same boat together sort of thing. It's like, it's not, whatever the opposite of elitism is this. That's the thing about Pensado's place that drew me to it. When they asked me to help out tonight, how could I say no? Because it represents the thing that I'm always trying to illustrate in my work, which is that there's very little separation between me and you as we're in this game, especially now that the music business has gone through so much downturn, drama, you know, change. So that brings into play that we don't really have any choice but to lift each other up. So, and these guys are putting a big magnifying glass on that, so it's cool. It's nice. It is very symbiotic. Yeah, they tie it all together, and they remove the elitism and the preciousness from it, and the sort of the pomp and circumstance is just gone in a night like this. It's more about man and woman all behind the scenes, helping each other out, how it all worked, and putting a big spotlight on it. It's sweet. It's like really cool, you know? It would have been the missing link that would have taken me otherwise years to learn in the studio. Like everything. Like when you watch episodes and you hear these interviews, here's what's different about it. Print interviews obviously reveal a certain amount. But when you have this sort of candid discourse, when these guys who are in your field are sort of speaking to you in this really relaxed way, it's disarming. And so it takes away the pretense. It's more just, I'm going to give you the straightest answer I can possibly give you because you're actually in my shoes too. So there's no bullshit. It's very like, you know, I'm not trying to like big up myself or do anything to make a better presentation of myself. We're just having a conversation. So as someone coming up, to have had that access, it would have taken so much mystery out of this game for me, because it took me years to figure out actually what the role of a producer even was. It seemed like some ivory tower sort of like ephemeral unknown, something you can never know, like the wizard behind the curtain. This is like the great leveler. And that's what it would have been huge for me. It would have taken years off of my trajectory had I had this thing. And so I'm really envious of young producer, engineer, music creator, mixer types who have access to this kind of wisdom. I think that not chasing trends is a really big one. And I know that sounds like a bit of a cliche. Everybody says don't chase trends. But the fact of the matter is, it does a couple things. It sets you, if you're chasing something that you heard that then comes out a year from now, 9 months from now, it's going to already sound dated. Likewise, you date yourself if you're just known for doing a very specific niche trendy sort of sound or approach. So I'm not saying be a complete chameleon, because that's kind of what I do, maybe to my detriment sometimes, because honestly, like being a super explorer all the time sort of makes people scratch their heads a little bit about like, well, what are you, you know? So I'm saying somewhere in the middle, less trendy, but not totally schizophrenic. Avoiding trends is really important. I think finding your own sound is really the key. Those are big words, because it's easier for me to say like, go forth, find your own sound. It's a tall order. Finding your own sound, what does that even mean? But somehow you have to. That has to be the goal. That always has to be the goal, because you are the one pushing music forward. You nailed it. That's so true. That is so very true. So it's about, there's nothing wrong with mining the past. I mean, there's value in that, especially when people these days have such a wealth of information at their fingertips, right? Having the bibliography behind you of like all this cool stuff that happened in music is dope. It's incredible. Like, again, I didn't have a lot of that coming up. I didn't have the access. I'm like over 40 now. I didn't come up that way. So for kids to actually have that stuff at their fingertips, I just encourage them to use it and to explore some of that. And like, well, what made a great disco record? What can we parlay from that into the present without being retro, maybe, or trendy? Like, we don't have to make the Daft Punk record all over again, but they did something that was sick. They got the players that were part of the scene in the day to play on their record. Why not? Stuff like that. It's novel. Like, think of ways to push things forward.